Well, of course, Jehu, he said, am I a dog that I would cut the women open? Well, he's got a dog's posture there, and he did cut the women open, and he says, am I a dog? Well, groveling like a dog there. So Jehu, the king in Israel, there you go, knocked down to size, and yeah, he started off quite well and finished very badly. So Jehu then, the king in Israel, and he's got a lot of trouble there to deal with, and we need to see the posture of many of the others, the same similar posture. Samuel blinded, Zedekiah, you know, and those after Josiah, the good king Josiah, and some of them were you know, killed, some were jailed, but it says they didn't follow after David. They didn't follow, it says, the Lord, and because of that they ended up on their knees. And they led Israel to sin. And we look at the posture of the kings of Judah. They were the kings of Israel. The posture of the kings of Judah were just as bad. Solomon, of course, he was a good king, but he went faulty in his old age, and then his book of repentance would be the book of you've got Lamentations. That book is for Jeremiah, but the book which follows from Proverbs, which was written by Solomon, of course, was a different book. That was a book of Ecclesiastes, you know, vanity of vanities, says the preacher or the speaker. And we look at the likes of the other kings, Rehoboam, who caused a division in Israel, and a good many of them. Hezekiah was good, you know. Josiah was good. There were some good ones, you know. Asa, but they were also the kings who ended up, like the kings of Israel, of course, ended up captured by Assyria, and the Babylonians came and they captured, you know, Judah, but also Benjamin and Manasseh was very closely associated with Judah. So that's why you've got the capture of those two as well. Apostle Paul said he was from the tribe of Benjamin. He called it the least of the tribes of Israel because obviously because of their murdering and raping, you know, it says the sodomites of the city, which were the rapists, they attacked that woman. Anyway, there was a lot of them ended up in that posture you see of Jehu there, and kissing the dust like Goliath. He also kissed the dust after getting a stone lodged in his forehead. is not very nice, but that's what happens. And the posture then of Hezekiah was one where he was meant to die, but he didn't die. He survived for another 15 years, and he was told through the course of the prophet that, you know, his sons would be bad, who would be born and come after him. Anyway, this year is the Pool of Siloam, which comes from the entrance to Hezekiah's tunnel, which was this is Hezekiah's tunnel here, and it goes under the temple, and of course Israel has part of the tunnel, and another part goes under the temple. So it's walled off now, so there's a brick wall stopping going any further, and it was dug, of course, from one end and then from the other end, and they met in the middle. How, I don't know. It was dug in all kinds of S shapes and whatnots, but it brought the water from the brook outside into the city. And Hezekiah was a good king, but he made the mistake of showing the treasures to the king of Babylon, his ambassadors. And when they saw the gold and the treasures, which weren't his, of course, he took the information back to Babylon, and Babylon put it on their list as another city to conquer. And they weren't allowed to conquer it though until after Josiah. So all these different things happened, and the archaeological record shows us all these different, you know, accounts. I'll show you the picture of one of the pharaohs, and this is interesting. This pharaoh here was probably responsible for the death of the Jewish young boys when they said that the place was totally occupied, and that there was more of the Israelites being born than there were of the Egyptians. And Moses, of course, as a baby, was put in the basket and put into the water. This year would be Tutmosis, the first, probably the pharaoh connected to the babies being murdered. And of course you have Tutmosis the third. One of these Tutmosis was the pharaoh of the Exodus, not Ramses. And Ramses is about 150 years later. If you look at Shishak, or Shishonk as it's called, with Shishak, he came up at 927 BC, and of course that was quite a long time, 927, but BC we're talking about, 927, and he captured the Israelites, and he wrote it on the tomb, the temple to Amun, and the inscription is opposite the Israelites making bricks. The bricks also can be viewed and seen. So there are some who think that Amen Office the third, he was possibly the pharaoh of the Exodus. Show you a picture. But I personally don't think so. I think it was when I studied the book on the Egyptian pharaohs, I came to the conclusion that it was probably, yeah, I think it was Tutmosis. One is the name, you've got the word Moses in that, and Tut, or Thuthmosis looks like. And the other reason is that in the account I read that he had great success and was one of the richest pharaohs. Then suddenly there was no record of him, and yeah, thanks. Because there was no record of Tutmosis, it was all wiped off the walls, and there being no record of him suggested that something had happened to him. We know about the chariots and the horses which he had, and he, well, basically he I think is the one who pursued Moses to the sea, and was all his chariots and things were ruined. So, you know, there's a sudden end to him. And no, Egyptians only show the records of success. They never show the record of their losses. And the amazing thing is that with the archaeological records we have now, we can see astonishing things, even from the coins, which I'm still marvel at, you know. The tribute penny, Jesus says, whose image is on this penny? And they said Caesar's. And of course Jesus said, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. And Tiberius Caesar is to be seen there on this coin. And it's astonishing that you know, you've got these records of these coins and astonishing history attached to them. If the Israelites rendered Caesar to Caesar, what belongs to Caesar, and hadn't rebelled in 67 and 60 AD, which we have the coin to show that, yeah? It's the coin which they minted and printed in their rebellion against Rome. If they'd given to Caesar what belonged to Caesar, then of course they wouldn't have been crushed. And then you've got this other coin which shows their lamentation. And there you go, she's lamenting, the Judean woman on the right, and there's the soldiers on the left, centurions, Roman soldiers. So here we have amazing records, accurate in detail. When you look at the temple as well, of Sennacherib, the astonishing thing is, you know, the amazing details, times and dates and places prove the biblical evidence that we have of these things. Now, I'll show you a brick now. This is a brick which the Israelites used to make out of mud and straw, and it's amazing how these details come to light when you look at them. It's astonishing. We was looking at the other day how the writing of Noah's flood story, and we could even see a similar story which was the epic to Gilgamesh, which is amazing. So they got the epic there to Gilgamesh. This proves the Noah's flood story, although the variations, of course, from the epic of Gilgamesh. But the Noah's flood story in the Bible, of course, is far more detailed, and the details prove that the original story was Moses' account, which he wrote of the flood in Genesis. And of course, some people change the words and they put it in their own kind of style and stamp it on their own mud bricks, and stories which are told can be put into their kind of pagan, if you like, way of receiving it. So that's but it's still astonishing, the time. So anyway, got to go.